Hey listeners, I'm Melissa Kepler. Welcome to our podcast about all things lifestyle, business, and content, how to navigate through each, and the important role your mental and physical health plays in all of it. So, let's talk about it. Today, my guest is Nidra Nunez Holiday, jeweler extraordinaire. Hi, Nidra. So happy to have you here today.
Hi, Liz. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm fine. So, Nidra and I, we've been talking for a little while, but this is our first exchange with each other as far as in person. She was recommended to me by my good friend and our first guest, Noelle Andrews. And I was really excited because Noelle raved about you, which I was telling you previous to the show. Noelle has nothing but the highest of compliments.
Amazing.
The highest of praises for you as a person and just as a business owner. And so she was just like, you need Nidra. And so I jumped at this opportunity to be able to sit down and have a conversation with Nidra.
Wow.
I'm really excited about that. So Nidra comes to us as a jeweler. You hand make your jewelry?
I hand make a large portion of it, but I also have manufacturers that I work with.
Okay, cool. She has a store called the Emporium by Lady Holiday, which is the name you go by. There's so many little nuances to your business that I want to break apart and ask you, how did you get here? How did you get there? So this show, as you know, has been really about speaking to creatives and entrepreneurs and people who find different types of outlets and ways to turn your passions into business and things like that. So you encompass all of that, which is really exciting. So take me back to where you and jewelry started your relationship. Like the very beginning. Like, how did that love affair begin?
Oh, do you really want to go that far back?
I want to go all the way back.
All right. I'm going to take you all the way back to 1984, where I would sit and watch all of my aunts get dressed. And they would put their hoop earrings on and all their jewelry, and they layered, and I just would stare at them, and I just was always amazed. Cyndi Lauper and Madonna and
the real bold fashion era.
Oh my goodness, Gary Gracious and Whitney Houston, when they would wear all their jewelry, all of the layers,
big hair, big makeup, big jewelry,
and had the nerve to have bows sitting on something and just brooches, and it just was like, oh my goodness, I love seeing it all. And it was like they expressed themselves with their jewelry. If you can have on an outfit, and the outfit could be absolutely amazing, and if it doesn't have on any jewelry with it, it's like,
a little incomplete. It's a little incomplete.
It gives you this. It's just not there.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is put on a pair of earrings, a necklace, a ring, something. It doesn't have to be all three, but just something, and it just sets the whole outfit.
It's basically like when you see, have you ever seen a reel or some kind of video that has someone in the clothes and then they just switch to a pair of boots and a pair of earrings and just change their hair, and they're like, it's the difference between wearing an outfit and styling the outfit.
I say it all the time. And jewelry styles the outfit.
Yeah. I cannot go a single day without wearing earrings. I will change out, but I must always have a pair of earrings in my ears at all time. I must always have a necklace on at all time. I'm in simple vibes today, just like jeans and a cardigan, but I have to have at least a necklace and some simple ear, like always.
Right. I agree.
Always.
I agree. Feel naked.
Yeah.
Feel naked. And so it's been that long. Then I grew up. Mommy and me time was, we used to make beaded bracelets and necklaces and earrings. That was the 90s. And then I started selling jewelry in junior high school.
Wow.
To my teachers.
Really?
Yes.
You were a young entrepreneur.
I was a young entrepreneur, yeah. I started selling jewelry. I wore a pair of earrings to school one day, and my teacher said, oh, those earrings are so cute. Where did you get those earrings from? And I said, oh, my mom has a store. She sells jewelry. She said, well, make sure you give me your mom's information. I said, I can bring jewelry to you tomorrow.
He said, you don't need her information. I will take care of this.
I sure did. And I took it to her, and she was my teacher and my customer throughout the whole school year.
That's so funny.
So that was back then. And then...
Well, you just said your mom had...
My mom
sold jewelry.
My mom sold jewelry. We used to make those beaded 14 karat gold filled beaded necklaces, bracelets, earring sets, and go out and sell them. We used to go to different hair salons, craft shows. My mom used to teach in the community room for mommy and me experiences and workshops where she would sit and teach people how to bead jewelry and stuff like that.
This
So
has been your whole life.
it's been my whole life.
Jewelry has been your
My
whole life.
entire life. I don't know life without jewelry. It's crazy because I just was looking at my ninth grade school pictures and I had on, what ninth grader wears these long chain earrings with pearls hanging from the bottom? That was, my swag. Always wore costume jewelry, some type of jewelry.
We talk about this a lot. You, me, and my friends. I'm like, we were wearing business casual to the clubs. I'm talking pencil skirts and your peplum shirts and huge statement piece necklaces and earrings, and your hair was always done and the makeup was fierce. And the fashion now is, and nothing wrong, I am not hating on anyone, but the clean girl aesthetic of being very simple. And I have my days where I like a clean girl look and I'm just in my fitness apparel for the day and I've got a little stud on and simple. And then I have the days where I want to go out, but I don't want to go out wearing Adidas sneakers and a pair of jeans. I don't understand why we stopped wearing heels. I'm still wearing heels. I'm always wearing heels when I go somewhere. And even like if we go to my husband's parents' house for like just family dinner, I'm in heels. You know what I mean? It's exactly what you're talking about. It's like you look at someone who is dressed to the nine and you feel excited about it or inspired by it. And I think part of it is we don't have those places to go really as much to dress as full out as we used to when clubbing was hot and heavy.
Right.
But I still try to put myself together as much as possible, but it's easy to just be home and just be home in sweats, So I love that you're still like looking for your fashion pieces, still making sure you make a statement with your jewelry. So you were in business in junior high. You were hustling your teachers. So you don't need a number. You don't need a link. I got you. I'm going to start selling. And then how long did that continue? Through high school, or what was the next step for you?
It never stopped. Believe it or not, it never stopped. I want to say 6th grade, junior high, all the way up to 8th grade. I just recently saw a teacher and she remembered me from buying jewelry from me from junior high.
Wow.
Then I sold stuff in high school, and then it started going to my friends, and they started liking the jewelry that I had, and then I sold it to them, and I followed my mom's footsteps, kind of. Like I still went out to the hair salons and sold jewelry, but it was never to the extent where it is now.
Right. That was more. It felt more community at the time.
It was more community. It was something to do.
Okay.
It was something to do, and it was, oh, well, I want to go to this concert, so I'm going to just sell this amount of stuff so I could buy tickets. Or, oh, I want to buy a car, so I'm going to just sell some jewelry and stake my money and buy a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was never...
That is a very business mindset, like from a young age, to be like, I'm going to work for it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to find it, and I'll be able to afford it.
And that was me. That was me. So I had my little side jobs working at Little Caesar, working at McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever fast food restaurant that I worked at the time, and I sold jewelry on the side. And when people got paid, now you bring your jewelry to work, we get paid tomorrow. Okay, I'll bring it.
Good. So you're like, you got paid and got paid.
And got paid. Yep.
Perfect.
Yes, yep.
Were you always in Philadelphia?
I was always in Philadelphia.
Okay, so born and raised.
Born and raised Philly girl.
Philly girl.
Philly girl all day. Go Birds. Did you know? Go Birds.
Philly is the city that is the most loyal sports fans and the most annoying. So, I mean, we don't
Nothing
care.
like us.
You know a Philly sports fan from any other sports fan.
And it's crazy because I hear people who move to Philadelphia and they can't stand that we are the way that we are.
It's like you're in the wrong place.
Don't come here talking about your sports. You better go back home with that. But yeah, I'm Philly girl all day. I love my city so much. I love Philadelphia. I always tell people Philadelphia is the best city in the United States because we have the hood, the suburbs, hiking.
Yeah, a little bit of everything here.
And water all together. So if you want to go to the city, slide through the suburbs, go hiking, and get on a boat, you can do it all in the same day.
And Philly has a lot of diversity in the types of food and culture that you can experience all within a couple blocks of each other.
Absolutely.
I say sometimes it reminds me of a little New York. We're very similar in that style. Like people go to New York to watch shows and try different foods and coffee shops, and we have all of that here too, just in a different capacity. New York's just a little bit bigger, but Philly's big, and there's just
big.
a lot. There is a lot to do here. So yes, I'm a Philly diehard as well. So born and raised myself. My mom moved me out to the suburbs, and everyone there is like, "Yeah, we're from Philly," and I'm like, "You are not from Philly. I am from Philly." You are a Philly fan because you were the suburb outside Philly. That makes sense. You absolutely should be an Eagles fan. I am not taking your sports card away from you. But you can't live past King of Prussia and say you're from Philly. Unless you are from Philly and then move there.
Right.
So people were always like, how do you always end up back in Philadelphia? And I'm like, I just came home. I didn't decide to leave the suburbs to move to the city. I am from the city. I've been from the city my whole life. I'm a Northeast Catholic schoolgirl.
Okay.
I love Philadelphia. I do. There are definitely some days where traffic or crime sometimes and things where I'm just like, okay, why am I here? But to the heart of it, I really love my city. There's bad stuff everywhere you go.
Yes, absolutely.
So, no matter what.
Absolutely.
So you continue to take your jewelry every year of your life. You just kept selling to friends, going to shops, going to mom and pop shops, keeping this community going. When did you decide this is something I can do full time?
Honestly, it wasn't a decision, but it was more so a compromise.
Okay.
I was a single mom, and I had a child who is 28 years old now, but he was difficult. And I had to leave. I used to be a weight loss counselor for Nutrisystem. And I would have to leave work all the time to go to school to deal with whatever difficulties he was dealing with in school. And I went to my supervisor and I told my supervisor that I could no longer work for them anymore because I got tired of either having to call out or leave work early. And my son needed me.
Yeah.
So I knew that jewelry would sustain me. So I quit my job. I had $500 in the bank.
Wow.
That's all I had. And I took that and I ordered some jewelry and I never looked back. And
that's impressive.
Was in 2003. That was 2003.
So over 20 years ago.
It was over 20 years ago.
And you've been doing this since. Wow.
Yes. Full time.
Yeah.
Because I started off when I had my son, I used to do merchandising for Brown & Brothers. That's a hair care line. So I used to do merchandising with them, merchandising and promotion. And that's where I started really going heavy with selling jewelry in the hair salons because I would be in the hair salons promoting the hair care product and things like that. And I'd be like, okay, now that y'all bought y'all spritz, would y'all like to see some jewelry?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because jewelry is part of the beauty line. So if people are there, you know that they like to spend money on the way they look and feel. So it does make sense. They go hand in hand.
Yes, yes. Until my supervisor found out about it. And she's like, if you want to do this on your time, you can do it on your time, but you can't do it on our time. Okay, I won't do it on your time. And once I compromised and said, I'm going to just go ahead and do this full on. I'm not going to have a job at all. Stay home, homeschool my son, get him up to par with where he needed to be with his education and behavior and things like that. Then I'll go back to work. And I never went back to work.
It just never happened.
It just never happened.
That's really inspiring. Were you confident in that decision or were there hesitations, any fear in doing that? Or were you like, no, I'm going to make this work. I already know what I got to do. There's no questions about it.
All of the above.
Okay.
Right. All of the above. No person, especially leaving medical benefits, a guaranteed paycheck, that independence of going to work every single day, the freedom of getting away from your kids all day,
right?
All of those things. And then just the community of going and being with like-minded people. It's scary to walk away from.
Yeah.
But when it's a choice between your child, their future, and what you need as a parent or what you want as an individual, I feel like all real moms set all of that aside. They no longer matter. We don't take a choice. You do what you have to do because I always like to say my son is my investment in society.
Okay.
And if I didn't invest in him, then I don't know what he could be. You know, we see what lack of investment is turning into in our city. It makes me sad to say I'm from Philadelphia at times when I look at the news and I see all of the things that's going on. So, with that being said, I'm just deep into investing in our children. And my son was mine. He did not ask to come here. So it's my job as his mom to make sure that he was okay. So I did what I had to do. Fear and all. Cried, sad, all of that. But none of that matters.
Yeah. Like I said a little bit earlier, I bring on a lot of people who have made that jump into entrepreneurship, right? Whether it be because they wanted to or they had to. And we talk a lot about the freedom of it, but we don't talk enough about what you just mentioned of not having those like-minded people to go to work and hang out with during the day, to get away from your kids, to get away from the home life, or to not feel isolated and lonely just because you're doing the same thing every day, keeping on a routine of any sort, because you have the freedom of, well, I can do it later. I'm just going to sit and I'm going to do this. So finding routine is a lot harder than it may seem when you're like, oh, I have all the time in the world. But that mindset is what makes it a lot harder to narrow down when you're going to do A, B, and C. There's just so many pros and cons to both working in the 9 to 5 and having your own business. So you made this decision. You took the last $500 you had, you ordered some jewelry, and you continued to sell to friends and shops and things like that. When in that journey did you decide, I'm going to buy a storefront? How long did that take to get from the last $500 I have to owning a full establishment?
So once again, it was not a decision. It was a compromise. I didn't want a store.
No?
I never wanted a store. Store to me was confinement.
Okay.
Store to me is confinement. I have to sit here and I have to wait till people decide that they're going to come into my store and buy something.
And if it's a little more permanent.
And it's permanent and it's definite.
Yeah.
You have to pay your rent. You have to be there. You have to set times. You have to. And I'm still learning how to do that. I always tell people I'm not a businesswoman. I'm a hustler. I never knew how to be a businesswoman, and I'm learning how to come into that.
Yeah, because you have to be more than just the creative at that point. Now you have to think about things in a whole different way.
I never wanted a store for that. For those reasons. I liked having the freedom. When I sold jewelry, I worked Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and some Sundays if I wanted to. And I did some vending. I would go to big events and set up my jewelry there, and maybe I may not have to work all weekend. I could just work one day. I decided I wanted to open up a website, and that's where the door opened up for the idea of having a store. So I put it on the website, and I had all of this inventory. And it was like, you have all this inventory, and I'm carrying it in those deep 32-gallon bins, just inventory in the trunk of my car. And people would be like,
how's your workout every day?
My workout every day. When I say, people would ask me, why don't you have a hand truck? Because I would bring jewelry in big bins in a suitcase. I used to have a travel suitcase, the hard body suitcase that stood up this tall with the wheels on it. I still have them. And then once I started seeing all of the inventory I had, and then I had my launch party for my website, I had all of this decor and stuff that I bought. And I'm not one to rent anything. If I'm going to use it, I might as well buy it.
Yeah.
So I looked around and I'm like, I just opened up a store in here, and I used a venue space, and everybody, oh, this is not your store. No, this is a venue space. So it looked like I actually opened up a store because we said for my website.
Because of your launch party. So you had basically set up a storefront just specific to display all your inventory.
To invite everybody in to see what they would get on my website. And oh my goodness, this looks like a store. And I was like, all right, maybe I need to open a store. So that's why I say it was that compromise, because it was like, you have all of this stuff, you might as well.
Yeah.
And it took me another 1.5 years to decide to open up the store. COVID hit.
Yeah, that was on my list of questions to ask, if you took any type of dip from COVID.
Oh, I took a terrible dip in the beginning. But I remembered people was not paying attention to the government, and they were still going on vacation. And they were still doing what they wanted to do, which means that women still wanted to wear earrings. They still wanted to
Right.
get dressed. They
Still gotta look
wanted to
good.
be cute. They wanted to look good. Everybody's meetings was on Zoom.
Yeah.
They needed something neck up to feel good, you know? So
Pajama pants on the bottom,
what?
nice
Pajama
earrings on the top.
you know about it, and nice earrings and a necklace. I thought about it and I thought about it. And I mean, when I say went deep, I started feeling really bad because I didn't realize that out of when I quit my job in I started selling jewelry as a ultimate side hustle. I quit my job in 2002 to do it full time.
Okay.
I had not had a Saturday off until COVID. And I just didn't know what to do with myself.
Well, I guess because that's when you can go to the most places to find clientele because
What's on
they're
Saturdays.
busy on the weekends, right?
Right. So my weekends was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So when COVID hit, I'm like, I'm in this house.
What am I supposed to do with myself?
And I couldn't figure out what to do. And it wasn't until we was a month in and I was calling credit card companies telling them I might need to be behind a little bit because I can pay you this, but I can't pay you that. So I just sat and I thought about it and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Nidra, you're the same one who quit your job to support Freddie. You're the same one that went back to school to get your degree. You're the same one. I had to remember who I was. And I said, oh, I could do virtual. Nobody is doing virtual. People still want to buy stuff. They're still interested. So I made a post on Instagram and I said, you ladies miss Lady Holiday? Well, guess what? Lady Holiday is doing your own personal virtual shopping experience. So if you want to get your girlfriends together, let's have a jewelry demonstration. And it hit.
You just said a word that I haven't heard in a long time. Demonstrations. Remember when those were everything? My mom used to sell Princess House. Do you remember?
Princess House.
So my mom, I used to go with my mom on her demonstrations all the time. I remember those big blue cases. For anyone who doesn't know, Princess House is crystal. And it's just crystal everything.
Crystal
like
everything.
Plates, vases, all your normal glassware, but then also a lot of different figurines. Like I remember having a crystal, I'm a dancer, so I had a crystal ballerina. And I had, we had this crystal dolphin that I love. Dolphins have always been a big part of my life for some reason. I've always loved, you see a little dolphin on top of my monitor. So I've always had a thing with dolphins. So yeah, I just remember she got me this crystal dolphin. It wasn't in my room or anything. It was still on display in the living room.
If
My
you
mom
break
had
it,
that.
something was a problem.
And china cabinets were huge
Right.
back then. So we had big china cabinets with all our crystal in it that never got used for anything. It was all display.
And pretty.
And there was also, what were the other types of demonstrations?
Tupperware.
Yeah, pantry chef or something like that.
Pantry chef. You took it back. Wow.
I just remember because that was what you did. Those were girls' nights.
Those were girls' nights.
Those were girls' nights. And I mean like a girls' night is like now what would we do? We would sit around, maybe watch a movie and drink a glass of wine. It was like the same idea, except it was daiquiris and popcorn.
Right.
Selling popcorn and crystal and things like that. So yeah, you said demonstration and I just flashed 25 memories. And I remember being like, I want to sell Princess House. Like I swore I was going to want to sell Princess House. Avon.
Avon, it was Tupperware, it
Yeah.
was Mary Kay.
Mary Kay, right.
It was so many different ones. It was so many, and I remember all of those days. And Princess House was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Of course, it would be because
It was popular.
It was popular.
It was beautiful.
My mom had a lot of Princess House.
So you basically took what we just described and you brought it online. You were doing demonstrations virtually.
Yes.
So how did that go?
It went well.
Okay.
It went so well that I was able to add to the little bit of savings that I had throughout the years and open my store.
That's awesome. How did you set that up? So you would be on camera describing and then people would just place orders to you while you're live or post show. There would be like a link to the website or they would submit like an email, or how did you go about completing sales during your demonstrations?
I did it the same exact way that I did it in the hair salons.
Oh.
So I went, all right, you see that pillow that you have there?
Uh-huh.
That material. I would go to the fabric store and buy it in a yard and cut it down to about 16 by 8. And I would line all of my jewelry on it, put it all on there and hook it on. And during the demonstration, I would hold it up. in front, in front of the camera, and whoever would hit, I want the first one, second row. Da, 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 da.
So you were kind of auctioning it
Auctioning.
off.
Well, what? Absolutely. That's exactly what I did. Or when it was personal ones, I would take my phone and pan over it real slow and let people see what it was that I had. And they would choose, oh, I want those right there. Let me see the size of them, Nidra. And I would take it off the thing and put it up to my ear and show them what size it is, hold it in the palm of my hand and let them see. Are they heavy? How they feel? Can you try them on? Take an alcohol swab, wipe them off, put them on my ear, put it in, let them see the side. That was it. Same thing with necklaces. And I always had jewelry displays. So if they wanted to do a layered look, I would put the necklaces on the jewelry display the way that they wanted to wear. And then if it's not going to fit you that way. I think it might be a little longer. You want me to cut this one down? I cut it down for them and make it fit them. And
so you're like customizing the experience for each buyer.
For each buyer. And I did that throughout the entire time of COVID. And when Mother's Day hit, it was like I didn't go to bed. I started I call them virtual experiences. I started an experience at 8 o'clock in the morning and I didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock in the morning. The weekend of Mother's Day.
Because it was so busy?
Because it was so busy. My phone just kept going.
That's incredible, though.
People just had their girlfriends all together. And then one would walk away and the other one would come and she would do her shopping and then that one would walk away. And each person, I would have a white sheet of paper out. And I would lay all of the things that they wanted on the white sheet of paper. And I would just show it to them. This is what you got. These are the things that you ordered. And, okay, let me know my price. And they cash at me the money or Venmo or credit card, whatever, however they wanted to pay. Come pick it up.
That's amazing. Are you on TikTok? You see how they do the live shows? Do you do anything like that on
I don't do them.
I feel like that's a missed opportunity for you because... just because there's so much more happening business-wise on TikTok. It's not just like individual, like fun content. And I talk about TikTok a lot on the show just because I speak about content a lot in general. But I also teach fitness at other places. And one of the main questions I always ask when someone new comes into class is, how did you hear about us? The amount of times I get TikTok as the response is crazy to me because I'm not thinking of it that way. I'm like, really? You found the fitness studio on TikTok? People are looking at restaurant like food reviews. Best espresso martini in Philadelphia. TikTok is the new wave of marketing your business. And then those lives, I'll see where people do surprise bags. So say you have a set of 20 earrings all valued at the same price. You're like, this is the cost. And you'll get one pair of earrings, one necklace, and a surprise. And then you have a bin and you're like, oh, look, you got these earrings. People do this with art supplies. They do it with crystals, like healing. So they'll say you'll get one full-size crystal. You'll get one necklace attachment or a ring. So they have them all in surprise boxes and they let people live watch it, like what you're talking about. So people are there and they say, okay, next order on the list. Caitlin, are you here? Okay, you're next up. Let's see what your surprise item is. Cool. And so you're boxing it for them live on TikTok. And those do really well. I think you'd make a killing. I think you would do so good at something like that from what you're talking about. I know you're like, don't add more to my plate. From what you're saying, it sounds like you already do something so similar to that. So it just...
No, it's a good idea. I was doing Instagram lives. Okay. I did them a few times. I just stopped doing them. Like you said, it's just so much.
It's a lot.
That needs to be done. And it's only 24 hours in a day.
And you're one person.
And I'm just one person. But I'll look into it. My sister keeps telling me about TikTok Shop too. I haven't.
Yes, you can sell your own items on TikTok Shop. Yes.
Wow.
It's come a long way from just being a silly little platform. Wow. I still love doing silly little videos, but yeah, there's a lot of ways to grow on there. I actually have 3 different TikTok accounts. I have my personal where I am just me and I like to have fun on it. And then I just started a new one for bar and I started one for the podcast, and you just never know what it's going to hit. I posted the clip from Shanika yesterday. I posted that on TikTok and someone's like, wait, can we talk about it? Because I need to see this full episode. And I don't know who this person is. And even if I get 5 views, but one person, I now have one more person who wants to listen and watch the podcast, that makes a difference to me because you're just throwing all these things out on the internet and it's going to stick somewhere
Absolutely.
eventually. If people are like, there was just not enough views or not enough engagement. And I'm like, any engagement is enough engagement.
That's how I look at it.
Any engagement
Yes,
is enough.
absolutely.
So when you were doing these live demonstrations, this was before you had a store?
This was before I had a store.
Pandemic restrictions started to lift a little bit. Did you return to going back into shops and things like that?
I did.
Were you then balancing doing both because the demonstrations were going well, or did the online demonstrations slow down as COVID started to slow down?
No, they stayed the same.
Okay.
And I still did the hair salons because a lot of people were still scared to come back. Yeah, because normally they would see me in the hair salon and they were scared to go to the hair salon and get the hair done and all that type of stuff. Once we fully opened up, that's when they slowed down.
Okay.
That's when and people started coming back. Then I started full time going to the hair salons. But I was doing a little bit of both. I was doing half and half. I would do the demonstrations in the morning and in the evening, and then I would go out in the street and do my field sales for a couple of hours throughout the day, and then go back home and fulfill those orders and either ship them off or have people come pick them up or drop them off. And
do you mind me asking which was more lucrative in a shorter period of time, selling in person versus selling online?
for So what was weird is that COVID was like, it was magical almost. It was almost magical. I think so many people needed something to feel good about. And a lot of people felt good about being pretty or being cute or getting dressed.
Forcing themselves to show up because it was really easy to never get dressed.
Right.
Literally at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand that.
And I thought it was weird because I expected it to be vice versa. You know, I'm sitting home all day. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
But I had a lot of people who, like you said, made themselves get dressed because they needed something to feel good about. So they got dressed and they put on their jewelry.
I was 100% in that category. I experienced both sides of it. I experienced the really like heavy weight gain and loss of self-worth and sleeping a lot more and eating a lot worse. That got later on as like we were locked down for too long, but I also didn't return to work. But the getting up and showing up for myself, I held on to that for as long as I could in the beginning. I was working out every morning at home the best I could. I was live streaming my workouts similar to how you were demonstrating. It was like, hey, if anybody wants to work out with me today, I'm going live at this time, got a full body. People are like, I don't have weights. I'm going to grab 2 cans of soup. Just make sure they're the same weight. Like little things like that. And I did that for as long as it was sustainable, but I felt it just got harder and harder. And people started to be like, oh my God, I'm just living the same day over and again. You wake up and you're like, I got no plans, got nowhere to go, nowhere to be, no reason. And then people started drinking more, drinking earlier, eating worse. And then I would even just be like, I'll just work out tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I literally just stopped working out. Exercise is just my whole life.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It was a rough time. So to hear that you were able to sustain those demonstrations and people showing up and your business continue to flourish, that is incredible. And I am so happy to hear that for you. And so
Thank you.
what about as the world opened? I know you're continuing them. You're starting going back to the salons. What about when you did open the store? I know you do have limited hours because I know you said you don't like that idea of confinement and sitting.
One lady said, I came to your store and I noticed that it said by appointment. And I said, that's Monday through Wednesday. And that was because you have doctor's appointments. You got to go food shopping. You have to do laundry. You have to do
planning
something
time that you can get away.
Yes.
Are you your own team or do you have employees there?
I'm my own team. I've been looking for employees. I get employees, but trying to find consistent people who are going to work and do what you need them to do is very difficult.
Yeah, especially in retail.
In retail, it's very difficult. And I can't seem to figure out why I would like to be the one to break that, but I'm having a hard time. And I've tried all kinds of apps and programs and even have signs in the window now saying that we're hiring. But you have to be safe and be able to slowly but surely walk through trusting people, especially for things like
you're leaving
jewelry.
them with your entire life.
Absolutely.
So every time that store is open, you're in there. It's you, yourself, and you. You're doing the photography, the videos. You are doing all of this by yourself.
One woman machine.
Okay. So how do you find the time to manage that? Do you have a set? This is a day that I'm going to do content. This is a day that I'm just going to clean the store. Or is it just like, gotta see where the week takes me?
I'm winging it. Honestly, I am
It was
winging
the way
it.
you said that.
I sat down, Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Let's set me a schedule for, write down the schedule. I have a book that says get up and work intentions,
Yeah.
and then you write down your intention and what you're trying to do and all. I'm winging it. Every time I try to get through any of that type of stuff, it's like I'm having the hardest time sticking to a complete schedule. If something comes up, something always comes up. Always comes up. But I just get through it. You just figure out, and still it's some days where some months I'm gonna say, I'm not even gonna say some days, because overall as a business owner you really are not looking, you're looking at days and hours, but overall you're really looking at the month and what you're able to accomplish within that month. And there are some months where stuff just get thrown to the wayside, and then other months where everything is done but still something is on the wayside that you forgot all about because you were so focused on so many other things.
You gotta do all of this by yourself.
All of it by myself. And people, oh, you haven't gotten through your inventory yet? No, I have not. I know what I have. I bet you I can go find it, and I can tell you how many I have. But the computer don't know. You have to figure out you get it and catalog it in the computer. So that, like that, doctor's appointments, mammogram. I have to go get my mammogram. That was due in April because you full throttle all in. You put on your bathing suit and you jump straight into the cold deep end of the water. That's how I look at when you start a business. I hate, and I don't know if we can use the word hate, but I hate the Instagram lie that being a small business owner, puppy dogs and rainbows.
Yeah, no.
When it is Carhartt and Timberlands, really what it is. It's like really gritty, it's grungy, it's grimy. Like it's not cute. And you wake up and all you need is get an LLC. No, you don't.
No, it's so much work. And it's so much money.
And it's so much money.
I don't know what is the greater investment, the time or the financials, because it's a lot. Someone said to me, you're smart because you don't have any overhead costs for what you're doing. Yes, my studio is in my house. I don't know if you know how much money worth of equipment is in this room right now.
I'm looking and I'm just amazed. I am absolutely amazed.
And yes, I pay attention. What can I buy a less expensive microphone and really focus on paying more money on the lights and those sort of things. For my online bar, yes, I understand that it's a YouTube channel. I need to rent space to record those videos. I'm just recently deciding to start putting my dancers in the videos because I need bodies to be like, there's a modification. This is the full out, or you can do this. And so I got to pay my dancers. I did a photo shoot for it. I had to pay the photographer. I had to pay for the, and so yes, in the grand scheme of it, I'm sure it's less overhead because I'm doing a lot of my editing and stuff on my own, but also now that's a time cost. I was up all night editing it. And then sometimes the internet goes down or there's like a malfunction in the app. The app was experiencing difficulties that I was using. I'm still making my bar videos. I'm still editing all those. I'm still going to in-person fitness studios to teach part-time. So I have also some money coming in on the side to help pay for this stuff so that my husband's not trying to balance our whole entire lives and my businesses on his back, because that's not fair. And I'm so grateful. Me quitting my job, that's not just about me. I held his hand and said, we're jumping off, because all of my decisions impact him as well.
Absolutely.
And so that conversation about, hey, can we do this? Can I take this chance? Will we be okay? He's like, yeah, we're going to be okay. But we got to pull back a little bit and just be like way more mindful, obviously. I feel so passionately about what you're saying. We talk a lot about this on the show about, yes, you can do it if you really want to. It's better to know and not regret, right? And it's about finding your passion and figuring out what you need. Some people need the 9 to 5. Some people thrive off that structure. And some people feel dead inside doing that. And so I really decided I wanted to have the show and bring guests on of this experience specifically so that I can not just inspire people, but inform them
Absolutely.
completely and really be like, you need to see the whole bubble, everything that this leap encompasses. And it's exhausting and it's not as freeing as you would like it to be. And if you want it to do well, you have to remain consistent, like lots of consistency.
I have a sign in my closet at home, and it says the entrepreneur, the one who gave up 40 hours a week for 100 hours a week. There is no such thing as 40 hours a week as an entrepreneur.
No.
It's vacation, what? Especially not the first 5 years of it if you plan on being successful. Family events, yeah, right. And friendships, if they don't love you, then they're falling off too, because you have to take those chances to tell those that you love, I can't.
You have to make decisions.
You
have
have to make
hard
sacrifices.
decisions and sacrifices.
You
right?
have to make hard decisions and sacrifices. It's not the same if you don't. Like I said, you jump in the deep end and you're doing it all by yourself. And nobody around you, if you're not around people who is actually doing what you're doing, nobody seems to understand.
Yeah.
They always think you're making an excuse, but in reality, that's not it. I really have to finish this. I really have to do this. I really have to do that.
Yeah. And I'm trying to encourage people to be better. I had this conversation with Noel, but I'm like, working in late 90s, early 2000s, like, if you tried to call off work, could you imagine like the way that your employers would speak to you
Right.
about missing a day or
Might
having
not
any
have a
type
job.
of mental health issue or anything like that? We are now in a way better environment where it's more understanding and accepted to say, hey, I need a mental health day. Hey, I physically
Right.
can't do it today. I need rest. So I still have the mindset of like, I have to get this stuff done and I have to work all the time. But I do want to encourage people to take the rest when you need to and find ways to work as smart as possible versus thinking you have to work hard all the time. You can work really hard, but there's a way to do it smart, as smart as you can. But what you're saying too takes time because in the beginning, it's a trial and error for
And that's
days
where
and
I'm at.
months and weeks,
Mhm.
and
That's
it's
where
you're
I'm at.
still learning things, especially because like yes, you've been doing jewelry your whole life, but every couple of years you transition into something new.
No.
So now it's a new business all over again. Like when you switched into doing live demonstrations versus just going into stores, and then when you switched from live demonstrations to having a storefront, like now that's a whole new,
Yes.
it's a whole new
Yes.
avenue that you're walking down. It's just good for people to understand. Do your research. Talk to people who are in fields that you're interested in getting into,
Yes.
which I love doing with the show. Is I love talking to other business owners or entrepreneurs or creatives in any way, sense or form. I love when I have somebody on the show who is all of that. I do want to just talk about two quick things. You mentioned that you have manufacturers. So how long were you creating jewelry from scratch by yourself before you went into the hybrid of having manufacturers and doing things by yourself?
It was backwards.
Oh.
So I had manufacturers first.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I started creating. Of course, I did the beaded jewelry
Right.
that I could talk about. I would break things apart and create my own little interesting pieces for people when they would ask for special order things. But I didn't start manufacturing jewelry until COVID. And that was because all of my vendors were closed. All of the original manufacturers that I had were all closed. So I had to figure out ways to continue to bring in inventory.
So would you design the jewelry and then send it in?
Send it out.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep. So I would create whatever drawing I want, take a picture of it, email it over
And so
to the
this is like my
manufacturer.
vision.
This is what my vision is. And then we would do whatever conversation we needed to have about whatever the CAD drawing would cost. And then they would tell me the price of what it is that it's going to be. And then we would take the next 15 to 30 days making it. Speaking about it, talking back and forth, saying these stones aren't going to fit properly. It's not going to lay right. That whole thing.
And so that's a lot of work in itself, having
It's
a
a lot
third
of
party. When did you start hand making things as far as like gold and silver inside of beading?
That was after COVID as well. I haven't gotten deep into casting yet. I'm still learning that. All of my manufacturers do that. I do more of the drawing, designing, put this here, take that away, add this. I want this class, that type of thing. And then they do all of the rest.
I've never told you this. My dad's a jeweler.
Wow. Nice.
So I
Nice.
grew up in
So you know what
jewelry
I'm
my
talking
whole
about.
life too. He used to work. Do you remember Market Street Gold in
Yes.
downtown? So my dad worked there like my whole
8th and
childhood.
Chestnut, 8th in that area, right?
Somewhere,
Samson
yeah.
something.
Well, yeah, because he's on Jewelers Row, which is up Chestnut. So he started working in retail, like at Market Street Gold. My mom worked downtown too. So they would kind of like exchange me in the city, and I would be behind the counters on the stool. And I was always decked out. You remember spinner rings?
Oh my goodness.
And I'd be like a little kid with Mickey Mouse spinner rings.
Yes.
I'd have the most ridiculous, what is even the word I want to say? My crosses were blinged out. I had the bamboo earrings with my names in them, like very Puerto Rican,
Right.
But so I always had so much jewelry because that was what my dad did. And so I grew up in a jewelry storefront.
Nice.
Essentially.
Nice.
And now he works on Jewelers Row. He does the casting. He makes the molds.
That's where the work is. And I have gotten, why is it so expensive? If only you knew the amount of work that goes into a mold alone. Just one mold can start at $100 and go up. And sometimes, depending on how much detail, does he use clay or what does he use?
I have no idea. The company that he works for, it's small, very small business, but it's essentially the third party of what you say you do, right? So other people will send in their designs and then they build the molds. Jewelry stores will send the designs and they build the molds. So I only got to see one ever. He cleaned my engagement ring for me right before my wedding. And just even watching that, this is not a mall jeweler that cleaned my ring. You know what I mean? He had this huge steamer. It was crazy. I was like, this thing looked like it was made and put on my finger. It was so bright. It was so shiny. So I don't know what they use. I'll have to ask him.
So many different materials.
It's just so funny because, I'm listening to you say all this and I don't know how I haven't told you that my dad's a jeweler yet.
Oh, wow. I would love to go see him work. I've always been fascinated by stuff like that. And I'm constantly asking my manufacturers, can you send me videos? I always want them to send me videos so that I can post it to let people know this is what I'm really doing.
Right. That goes into it.
A lot goes into it. Right now, I'm making an Eagles necklace. And I've been working on this same daggone Eagles necklace since August. They keep messing it up.
You don't want to put out a product that doesn't match what you envisioned it to look like.
Absolutely. And I know they're upset with me, but it's fine. I'm trying to get the Eagles logo that has the stadium behind it.
Okay.
So it's the Eagles and then it's the stadium.
Yep.
I'm trying to create that necklace.
Okay.
I'm trying to recreate that necklace. And the stadium does not look like a stadium. I want it to have that 3D dimensional, I want it to look like that stadium.
You don't want people wondering what it is. You want people to look at it and know exactly what they're looking at.
Exactly. Yes. And we still back at it again. It's like we just keep having the same conversation. And just yesterday, we made a mistake. What do you mean? We talked about the same mistake. So does it look like this? No, we need you to go back to the drawing board.
How does that agreement work financially? Do you not pay for something until it's done, or do you just have a monthly stipend? If you're going back and forth on a design and you're just like, forget it, I don't want to do it anymore. Did you have to pay for that time?
So I have to pay for it. I have to pay for the time. I have to pay for the amount of items that I'm ordering. So with these, it's 100 necklaces. So I have to pay for them up front.
Before they're even made. So naturally, if you've already paid for these necklaces, excuse me, you're like, they need to come.
Correct.
Products paid for. I want the product that I paid for.
Right. Absolutely.
I guess you have to buy in bulk, don't you?
I have to buy in bulk. It's not a cash and carry type of relationship. You can't buy 6 pieces, 5 pieces, 3 pieces. It just doesn't work that way, especially things that I'm having made. Now, if it's just a pair of earrings that they can sell, then I can buy 6 to 12 of those. That's fine because it's something they're selling in mass quantities already. It's already made. But something that I'm having made specifically for the Emporium by Lady Holiday, I have to buy it in bulk. And I try to explain that to people all the time. It's not as easy as you think it is to just roll over the day. I just want to make these earrings and make the earrings.
Nothing ever is, right?
Nothing ever is. So to answer your question, this is something that I've been doing for a long time. But the manufacturing part of me designing and making is something that I acquired after COVID. Okay. And I say acquired because I wasn't doing it at all. And now it's actually more than just an experience. It's actually a tool that I have possession of at this time that I can now share with someone else if they want to learn about it, or keep it for myself.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool. The last things I want to ask you, where we got Lady Holiday, why the Emporium, and in your logo you have a rose, and you said there's a story behind the rose as well. So just the breakdown of the names and the logo.
Okay. Lady Holiday and the Rose, they go hand in hand. Short story, it was a lady who, in a hair salon, she was getting her hair done, had been married for 10, 15 years, 3 children, had not gone out since she got married. Lost herself and her family, which we all do when we love our families. Husband realized it, said, I'm going to take my baby and take care of her. So he gave her a spa day for her birthday. He happened to walk in on this day. She bought a pair of teardrop shaped hoop earrings from me, and she had got her face made up, her nails done, her hair done. She just looked really pretty, and now it's time to put her earrings on, and it's the big reveal. And she looked at herself and she cried, and she couldn't believe how pretty she was. And then when her husband came and he saw her, he cried, and he couldn't believe how beautiful she looked. And he said, "Oh, my girl." And we heard the story that I just told you. And that's where Lady Holiday came from. To celebrate every day like a holiday. Why wait for a birthday, a Christmas, something? Life is so short that we need our flowers now. So now we get to the rose. The rose is a shrub. It's the strongest but the most beautiful of all flowers to me. And I feel like when you receive a rose, you receive a rose for graduation, you receive a rose for an anniversary or some type of celebration. Exactly. So I feel like because roses are strong, yet delicate and beautiful, what other way can a woman be described but a rose?
I love that.
Lady Holiday is to give yourself your roses every day and live every day like a holiday. So that's where the story behind Lady Holiday came from.
That's incredible.
Yep. And the Emporium, when I was looking up names for my store, I said, I don't want to name it Lady Holiday. But when I started Googling Lady Holiday, I wanted to know what it looked like. At times it was a stripper. So I said, I want it to describe a collection of fine things. And that's where Emporium came from.
So it's the Emporium by Lady
Emporium
Holiday.
by Lady Holiday. So
Beautiful.
It's the collection of fine things from Lady Holiday.
Amazing. I love this so much. I knew a little bit of your story from what Noelle had shared with me and some things that you have said to me, and I follow your socials. But I've learned so much in this conversation that was really inspirational, and so I really love to hear that. I want you to tell everyone where they can find you on social media so they can follow the businesses. The Emporium is on Main Street in Manayunk, Philadelphia, if you want to go to the storefront, but you have a website as well.
Yes. The address of the store is 4235 Main Street. The website is ladyholidayjewelry.com. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Lady Holiday Jewels with the Z. And you'll see me there standing with a yellow jean jacket on.
Perfect. Make sure you go follow Nidra. This has been such a great conversation. I am so grateful that you let me some time. And she's actually got to go run to the store now. Yes. So I do appreciate you. I am so fortunate to have people who are willing to come in and share their stories with me and allow my listeners to have that window into what life is like for entrepreneurs and creatives and business owners, and just talk about the what ifs and what the could be's, but also the reality of it. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. I also got a pair of Lady Holiday earrings. So I'm very excited because I'm going to go switch into them because they're super cute little gold and silver hoops. So you'll see those on my Instagram story later. Yay. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And thank you for having me. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.